lot of people discount themselves, and because the way that they find value is the way that the world sees it. Like, okay, are you skinny enough? Are you pretty enough? Do you have the right cell phone? Was your Facebook page cool?
Right.
Like,
I mean,
all
cool shit.
I know, flip phones.
just all the ways that you can, try to measure up to what everybody says. This is valuable.
Yeah.
This is what makes you valuable. And the fact is, a lot of people just don't feel, some people feel like they are on the slippery slope of kind of measuring up to that, but it's a slippery slope because it's so conditional anyway. And some people feel like they just have no value because they'll never, ever get there.
Yeah.
And what I just want to say is that God values you not for any of those reasons.
Yeah.
And like we were saying from the intro, you have to have, if you don't value yourself and you kind of want to end it and you are depressed, like, you have to have a little bit of hope that perhaps God has created you for a purpose. Perhaps he does. Maybe what we're saying is actually true, that he does value your life. And perhaps you should just try to hope for that and maybe ask him to meet you, because then your life won't be typical,
Yeah.
You're not invisible. He sees you, and you just gotta believe it. Just a little hope that that might be true,
Yeah. I think that's amazing, is that God loves you the most he'll ever love you right now. Like, God's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And there's nothing that you can do to make him love you more. There's nothing that you can do to make him love you less. He just loves you, and so, like, that whole thing of, like, I have to work to make God love me is crap.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you don't see God, you don't see yourself the way that God sees you. And all you have to do is be like, God, how do you see me? Just have that little hope that God sees you differently than the way that the rest of the world sees you, And then God answers you, and then all of a sudden you see yourself differently, and you're like, I have identity. I have an identity that's not what the world says that I am, I have an identity that's Jesus Christ, and like, God shows you his love for you, and it's the most amazing thing in the whole world, because he already loved you that much, even before he knew it. Like, he's just waiting for you to see it.
Right.
It's awesome.
It kind of ties into what we were talking about a little bit in chapter 1, but he said towards the end that he said we know the extent of our love for God by how well we love people.
Nice.
That one hurt a little bit. Because before I was a Christian, like, my catchphrase was I hate people. Like, I would say it all the time. If somebody irritated me at a store, I'd be like, I hate people. I would just make this. If just anything went wrong, something completely unrelated to people, I'd be, I hate people. Like, and so ever since I came to know God, I was just like, that can't be. If I continue to say these things, I'm not going to get across what I want to get across to other people. Because they're going to be like, oh, she's a Christian, but she hates people. So how does that work? I want them to know the love of God, and if the only way they're going to know that is by me loving other people, I'm going to need to work on that. And I mean, a lot.
So many Christians, for them, it's just this, and it never outworks this way. And if it's this, love is going on, it has to outwork this way. Like, it almost can't not,
Right.
That's the fruit. I think that's awesome. I think it's great.
And I think once people see that that's how it works, they're going to be more open to receiving God. Once they realize that this is what happens when somebody follows Jesus, they're going to want it more than just how the stereotypical view of Christian.
Yes.
The verse where it's like, when you've clothed the least of these, you've actually clothed me. When you fed them, you fed me. And it's realizing he didn't just say that to convince people to help poor people. He said it because it's true.
Yes.
It's like, that wasn't just his, like, oh, if I say this, then maybe they'll actually help poor people. It's like, he spoke those words because it's true, and I've been learning it. It's like, when I actually give myself in this way, and I choose to feed people who are hungry, I connect with God. It's like, oh, like something clicks and you just get it more. And it's like they said the action of doing it, like love does, you actually do it. And I'm not doing it because of, to meet a certain standard. I'm doing it because, first of all, God made me love him and I want to. But now that I'm doing it, I'm seeing there's even more love coming from it because I feel that connection with God in a new way. It's like, yeah, I am clothing you, Jesus. I am feeding you. I am, giving you shelter. I'm doing these things, and it is fully connected.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's like Jesus.
Yeah.
Sounds so cheesy.
It's the answer for everything.
But he comes to earth, he serves people his whole life, he's healing, he's preaching, he's not getting rest. Like, there's not a moment where he's like, dude, I just gotta, this moment is for me. Like, when he goes away, he's going to be with the Father, he's pouring into people's lives, he's with 12 people who he's chosen, one of which he knows is going to betray. Like, imagine being with someone who you know is going to betray you to death and being able to treat them awesome with love. Like, I would just be like, I'm serving a meal, you're not getting any. You're not eating today.
See you, Judas.
Like, you're not eating ever. I just can't help it,
Yeah.
So living that way, pouring his life out of these people, at the end, they all kill him. They turn on him. They kill him. All the disciples desert him. He raises from the dead. He's still teaching them. He's still patient with them. He's like, no, it's cool that you don't believe yet, but, here are the holes in my hands. Like, if that's what you need, here you go. He never, ever holds anything against them, fully giving himself. Even when he is resurrected, even when he ascends, they still don't get what he's talking about, because they still think that, like, governmentally going to take over. Like, they just don't even get it.
Yeah, totally.
And he's just, you know what, I'm about the will of my Father, about serving and loving and giving, regardless of if I ever get anything back from any of you.
Yeah.
That's not what this is about. This is about me laying my life down for you. That's the way that we have to love people.
Yeah, and it's cool because, like, this was already said somewhere, but we can't do that on our own.
Yes.
We cannot do that. And, like, that's, I feel like, a lot of pressure that makes people feel like, I have to be this typical Christian, I have to love people, I have to do it. You can't.
Right.
You cannot do that. It's only through the Holy Spirit
Yes.
that you can.
Definitely.
Right.
It's not me that loves people. It's God through me that loves people. Like, I can't love you. I am a selfish, terrible person without God. I am just like everyone else. The only thing that I have that helps me to love you is God, is love itself.
Yes.
And that's how I love. You know what I mean? And so, God, give me more of your love. Give me more of you so I can love. Because I can't do it on my own.
Right.
You know? Like,
Yes.
it's amazing.
Yes.
Like, it comes from him, it goes through me, and it goes back to him. Too.
Yeah.
It's like, it's all you, God.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it also says in here that fully loving is fully living. So
Right.
you can't live fully if you're not loving fully.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
good stuff.
That's
yeah,
great.
good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I heard somebody say recently, that we were not made to need love. Now that sounds completely contradictory because everybody says people need love. We weren't made to need love. He said we were made to be love. And I've noticed that, and that quote that you just read goes exactly along with that. Like, to love is to truly live. And when we are actively walking out the love of Jesus in us, that's when you feel the most alive.
Yeah.
It's when you feel the most alive. And it's so fun. And it's so full of joy, It's like, that's when you realize, I'm truly living. Like, this is what I was made for. And
You find your purpose. It's like finally everything clicks into place and you can get a glimpse of this vision that God has for you. And it just makes you want to keep doing more because you want to keep getting all these glimpses of it. Or at least that's how it is for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. I had this dream not too long ago. I had a dream, and but it just was really powerful to me because I had this dream that I was married to somebody, and I didn't know him, and I was just like, okay, but I will be a good wife. I will do the good stuff. I will be great. I will cook. I will make him happy. I'm going to be a really good wife, and. But, like, that was, like, my outward response, but, like, my heart was just like, but it's weird that I'm married to somebody that I don't know, And when I woke up, God was like, I want a bride who knows me. I'm looking for people who know me, and I'm going to like stir. And then he said, like, I'm going to stir your heart to know me, so that when I say, Shelly, I want you to do this, I'm like, oh, I love you, God, I know you have what's best for me, I'll go do it, like, I want to do it. So then all of a sudden, I'm not serving out of a place of duty and like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. And so we think like that sometimes as Christians. It's like, Christian life, do this, 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 and this, but you don't even know why. You don't even know the source. You don't know anything. And God is like, first, who cares about that? I'm going to make you know me and love me. And then from that will flow these things of desire for these things that I desire, because you'll actually know who I am, you know? And it's just been like so exciting to be like, yeah, because, well, I had just been at a wedding the day before, and I've been looking at the bride and thinking, there's probably nothing that she wouldn't do for her husband. You know, there's just that desire, just like looking at him, oh, I love you, and I can't wait to be with you and to be your wife and all these things. And then God just related it to my relationship with him. It's like, it's the same thing. I want your desire to be about me and to love me, you know?
Yeah, that's great.